The scene and I pay my dues. Rose of Phoenix, these flames they grew. Rows of people with an aim to do. Hold my dream and I stay so true.
So welcome again
Welcome
to the bullshit.
The Capeesh Podcast bullshit.
That should be our tag.
Sounds good.
Every time we start a video, welcome to the bullshit.
Yeah, and we're gonna document all this stuff. How about what's the intro music gonna be?
It's gonna be obviously me.
Yeah. Oh, you gonna rap?
Yeah.
You gonna spit hot fire lava?
I'm gonna rap about Capeesh Podcasts.
Yeah. What kind of bullshit is this?
The kind of bullshit you only see at the Capeesh Podcast.
Okay, cool. You know, I was thinking about that beat. You remember that one beat I made? It was kind of like The Godfather.
Yes.
I think you should like tear that one a new asshole,
yes.
and then like use that.
Yes.
Because it's like it's got that.
It does, because that beat is fucking hard.
Yeah.
I did not the first time around. I don't think I did it justice. So
Okay.
I feel like this is where the
maybe
bullshit
we're in a
comes
good
back in.
weren't in a good mood or something that day or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was thinking about albums we're anticipating to drop. For me, I definitely want to hear that new Gang Starr album.
Kuru's not.
No, I'm not even fucking joking.
Really?
Yeah, Premier has I don't know the context about it. But as far as I've heard, and there was a single that dropped with J. Cole.
Oh yeah, I did see an ad for that.
Yeah, so there was a single that dropped with J. Cole recently, and that was supposedly his last feature of the runnings of features that he's been doing. But evidently, Premier has a bunch of
unreleased hot shit.
Yes. Where it turns the fucking fire alarms on.
Yeah, this sounds like a new intro. Welcome to the what?
Bullshit.
Welcome to the bullshit.
Welcome to the bullshit.
We're hot. The shit is on fire right now, as
because
you can tell.
Gang Starr is about to release a new album.
Hey, interesting Gang Starr story. I used to see them a lot back in the day when they first came out. Group Home, Nice and Smooth, J. Rue the Damager. Used to see all those guys, and they were pretty cool. And one of the guys that was in this, remember, we can't do this part. We can't do this.
No, just keep going.
Now this is gonna be the outtakes when we're all the way there. You'll come back and look at this. Me headbutting the mic.
Fuck that. We're not professional, and it shows.
Oh, great. So let's skip the Gang Starr then. How about that?
Nah, I want to hear this story.
You want to hear this story?
Yeah, I want to hear this story.
Okay, so I'm at the barbershop here. Shout out to Janae's barbershop. This is back in the day. I'm at the barbershop, and there's this older gentleman at the barbershop. He's got to be 60 something. You know, usually we're all in our 20s at the barbershop, more than likely. This guy's about 60 years old, and nobody's talking to the guy. And I look at him again. And you know, at the time I'm a big digging in the crates guy, so yeah. I know all the albums, all the Blue Note albums, all that shit, right? And I'm looking at him, looking at this guy, and I'm like, yeah, that's fucking Donald Byrd right there, right? And I go to him, I say, hey, Mr. You Donald Byrd? So yeah, that's me. Surprised you recognize me. It's a shop full of kids. Nobody knows who this guy is, right? Yeah. But Donald Byrd is a famous composer, trumpet player. He's had like numerous albums. You can find 50 albums on Donald Byrd, Blue Note, etc. But anyway, he's like, yeah, that's cool. I said, man, look, let me go out to the car. I got something for you. Because I had this tape, and I had sampled him, you know, before I sampled him in a couple songs. And it was on this mixtape that I had on a cassette. This is back in the day, okay? Don't kill me. But anyway, so I give him the fucking cassette. And he's actually super proud that I know who he is. No one else knows who he is. Not the barber or anything. So anyway, I see him again, like 2 weeks later. What I didn't realize was Donald Byrd was an associate professor at Dell State at the time.
Okay.
Until his passing. God bless him. He passed a few years later. But he came to me at the barbershop the next time. He said, "Hey, young man, we're kicking it." And he's like, "Yeah, man, I listened to your tape, man. It was cool, And I'm about to do this thing with some rap people, this jazzmatazz." Right? I was like, "Oh, shit." Like, maybe I helped I don't know if I helped inspire. Yeah, but he hadn't did the jazzmatazz album yet with Premier. So, but he was like, "Yeah, my publishing name is Mazel Publishing. So if you see Mazel Publishing on there, you're free to sample it." Oh. So like he gave me sample clearance.
Damn.
Back then, and like some of the first stuff that we were doing, I was sampling him because I had clearance.
Yeah.
Straight from the guy or whatever. So it was just like a big deal. And then like 2-3 months later, the Jazzmatazz thing came out. Didn't really see him too much after that, in passing, maybe once,
Mm-hmm.
And then he passed. But it was just an interesting story, like I called him right before the Jazzmatazz thing, and like it was dope that he like liked my mixtape. This guy played with Miles Davis and Quincy Jones and John Coltrane and all these other people.
Yeah, like it's one thing when a fellow rapper or a fellow producer that's around your same age said something, but when somebody who's really been down with all those types of people, and really lives and breathes that type of music and knows chords and stuff like that, like that's a different like type of like cosign,
Yeah, that shit was incredible to me. I couldn't figure out who the guy was right at first. So just looking. I know this guy. Oh shit, fucking Donald Byrd. And to me, like, hey man, I had 10-12 of his records in my crates at that time, so I know his discography, however we fucking say that shit. So he was just so surprised that there was a young person that not only knew who the fuck he was, but could just name shit off that he had did. Yeah. So it was just an interesting thing that happened. Now, and I wish I had got to know him a lot better because a lot of other things could have came out of it, but some of those first demos, of course, I sampled Donald Byrd because anyone else I probably wouldn't have been able to get any kind of clearance from,
That's crazy. It's just like, it's funny how things just work out. Just like in passing, you found, like you saw him at a barbershop, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, people are lucky to even have hair to go to the barbershop at that, type of age. But yeah, just to see that, like,
all the bald people right now are just fucking pissed.
Well, yeah, Onyx is pissed right now. Fucking DMX, he's gonna bark on me, but whatever,
But so for another album that's supposedly supposed to drop, which I hope drops because I'm a big Kanye fan, Jesus is King.
Yeezy.
So I mean, like I said, I'm a big Kanye fan, but I want to hear your take on it. With all the shit that he's been saying, like I'm a very biased music lover. Mm-hmm. If I'm already a fan of that person and they say some stupid shit, then I'm still gonna listen. But like, say with X, I never got into him. I didn't get into him before all that stuff came out about him. So it was kind of like I stayed away from his music.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
so what's your opinion on that?
You know what? Music can redeem people. He can think and feel anything he wants, but if he comes out with a hot new record,
everybody's gonna forget about it. Yeah, it's gonna be forgiven. You know?
I mean, God, he grew up poor in Chicago, and he comes to be a half a billionaire or something. If he's not, then Kim K is. It's a whole different world. He gets into this world. He's probably, honestly, he's probably on something.
To be honest, like, I think it really opens up a conversation about mental health, and in the hip hop community, and the fact that The guy is obviously not on his medication.
Yeah, and then maybe that's another form of trolling in a way too, because
because that's how he promoted his last album. Basically, he just said a bunch of controversial shit, and it was working.
Yeah, and
I mean, it worked in the fact of making headlines. I mean, the album didn't sell too well, but then again, it was a 7-track album, so I guess you can't say it was really maybe if it was a 14-track album, it would have obviously sold more. But
yeah, and I think what, he might be a little bit. I don't know. Maybe he's out of it now, but he just seems to be
in a better place.
Secure. Yeah, because before he seemed like the most insecure superstar. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you're big as hell. You're obviously the style leader of this past decade.
It definitely came off like, I think it's because Kanye always had to prove himself to other people. Like when he first started out, he had to prove himself to being a good producer. Then he had to prove himself into being a rapper to these record labels. Then he had to prove himself with his shoe line and in his clothing. And every single time, he ended up coming on top. So it's like, I would have a big ego if I was him too, because it's like every time somebody tells you no, you're like in the back of your mind, you're like, I can do this shit.
Yeah. And so I mean, and he's already on some other shit. Like, have you seen him designing homes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
unfortunately, the designs for the homes got tore down because.
Yeah. But if you think like somebody that could figure that shit out, it probably could be him. Yeah. Now, I would like it to see it benefit homeless people some kind of way, or some of the poorer people. I don't know if he's trying to design $1 million house or a habitat for humanity, to speak of, but whatever he does design, when you get the end product, it's dope. So hopefully this album's dope and he can resurrect his red hat image. And so
I mean, I have high hopes for the album, mostly because the Sunday service stuff I've just been really liking. It just with the choir sounds and all that, it just sounds beautiful. So hopefully that gets implemented. If not, I'm gonna be disappointed. If it doesn't drop, I'm gonna be disappointed. So all in all, I'll probably be disappointed.
Yeah, I just hope it's Kanye. I don't want it to be the leftover shit that Drake wrote, or the leftover shit that Chance wrote, because I'm not too high on this Chance shit.
I want to hear Kanye and Kanye alone.
So we gotta see if Kanye can be the truth on his own in 2019, and he could stop being afraid of Drake. I don't think Drake's trying to kill him or anything. He could just concentrate on this music, give me some fucking fire ass beats.
Soul samples.
I need to hear
some
shit.
Soul samples.
Yeah, fucking sped up or something.
Chipmunked.
Yeah, chipmunked. I don't give a fuck. Get Jamie Foxx back on the line. Get Jamie Foxx on line 1. Somebody.
I don't need another late registration or another college dropout. I just need an album from him where you could tell it's him breaking boundaries again, and he's just making sonically dope music.
Yeah.
But another album I'm very looking forward to is DABABY KIRK. Or Kurt.
Yeah. He's hot as fuck right now. Man.
He is.
You got to give it to the guy. Shout out to him and Charlotte, North Carolina, and surrounding areas, because you know what? You just it's not like in my day. You don't have to be from a particular place. You just need to be fucking hot and consistent, and maybe some money behind you. That might help too. But
money does help.
Money helps.
And I will say, when I just talking to people about different ways you could get your music out, and this happened to be on a particular subreddit called Making Hip Hop, and I was just talking to people about the fact that you see different rappers rise, even though, like, say maybe the talent level isn't up to par of the rappers that stay a little underground.
Yeah.
And he brought up the fact of that it factor.
Yeah.
And DABABY definitely has that it factor. He has that charisma.
Yeah.
He has just that thing about him that draws you to the music. And he makes dope visuals, funny visuals. He's comedic. He reminds me visually at least, and the comedic style in the music videos of old Busta Rhymes videos. Just very over the top, cartoony.
And then you know what? And he's brave enough to do that thing, because everybody won't do that thing. Like you can have a song and it's cool, but they won't go that extra mile that he will go, He's not afraid to make an ass of himself. Yeah, because he definitely looks stupid on some of that shit. The diaper thing and all that shit.
Because you know what I think it is? It's he's secure enough in his own gangster, basically. And everybody, like, you see these people not wanting to do certain things because they're not secure with their own gangster.
Yeah. But then they're not even fucking gangster.
They're not
doing that. They're just trying to prove something that.
They're trying to prove something to themselves and other people.
Yeah, back to the 6ix9ine thing, actually. You know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, way back in the day, Biz Markie did the same thing. He used to go on stage and he have a pamper on and shit. And it's just like, who the fuck is this guy? But they were asking, who the fuck is this guy? Now, when they got done laughing and saying, who the fuck is this? And the hot shit came on and it broke. They forgot about the diaper thing or the
same thing with DABABY.
Yeah.
Like, who's bringing up the fact? Oh, is the guy in the diaper?
Yeah,
like nobody's bringing that up.
Yeah, I kind of did, but then he'd probably shoot me if he was here. But shout out to DABABY. Actually,
Cam Coldheart, you fucking end up in your fucking underwear.
How do you end up with your pants down?
That's the magic of DABABY.
Epstein.
End scene.
Yeah, he was trying to get some and beat some. He was trying to beat, but he didn't mean a beating. He meant beat. No, we're just. I don't mean his pants were fucking down, man. Like, how do you end up fighting a person and then like your pants are fucking down? I have so many
questions. I think his belt came down, but at the same time, like. He can't come back from that.
His pants were all the way
pants wasn't were down, blood on your face. Your career's over.
I'm glad he had on.
I don't care if you're the dopest artist in the world. If that happens to you and you're in your underwear in the Gucci store. Was it a Gucci store?
Yeah, something like that.
It was a fucking.
Gucci, it was one of those things.
That's how you get Gucci.
It was the Gucci store.
It was the Gucci store.
This is the Gucci store. That's another subject we'll get into.
Yes.
But Cam Coldheart was a kind of a cool name though.
That is the dope.
That's a dope name. It ain't shit now though. Yeah.
He's got a warm heart now.
Yeah, he's got a warm heart. So, are we gonna go into any disappointments so far?
Disappointments
of 2019. Like we're getting towards the end.
I mean, 2019. I was pretty disappointed by Chance the Rapper's album, but I think everybody was. I mean, I'm not a giant Chance the Rapper fan, but I was a big fan of, or I was a pretty decent fan of Acid Rap.
Yeah.
And 10 Day
project, I'm sure.
Like he just his flows, his cadences, the way about him, it was like it just drew me to him. I'm like, nobody's rapping like this. It's just he has his own different style, and it's like. And then with the Big Day, it was just like Macklemore meets motherfucking G-Eazy meets a toddler trying to bang on some MIDI fucking pianos and shit.
I don't know what the fuck is on that man's mind. Is he's fucking on a new drug or something? He needs to get back on the old drug that he was on when he was making the Acid Rap album.
I am not a person to say that, because I find it fucked up when people are like, oh, the rapper better go back on drugs or whatever. He made better music on drugs. But at the same time, he made better music when he was on drugs.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't want him to go back on drugs.
I mean,
I want the man to live his best life. If that means he's got to put out some shitty music, I'm just not gonna listen to it. But at the same time, it's like he needs to find something that, other than his wife, that is gonna bring him some inspiration.
Yeah, well, he needs something. God, I don't even want to say it because that's terrible. But I tried to listen to it, and it's too goddamn happy for me, man. You know,
It's not even happy. It's not even like that. It's too happy because
well, it's corny.
it's just it's corny. It's badly produced. It's too sugary. He just walked straight. He went from talking about acids, like walking straight into the Ellen show. Like
That shit is trash, man. Like I tried to
I didn't try. After the first fucking listen, I couldn't even get through the fucking album.
Well, see, you know, like, so I'm in the car, and they play his stuff a lot in the last couple months, you know, on Sirius, or, you know, so I'm on the channel, and I'm listening, and when one song starts coming on, I can't stand it. The that hot shower. Every song, they jumped off that song, they started playing a different song. That song was ass, too. And then I guess he's got one with DABABY, and
That's the hot shower.
and it's all hot trash. I'm sorry. It's like it's a whole boiling hot water. I don't want to drink that. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's lame. Like I don't know what happened to him, but like it's like this is what happens when you're free from adversity. Nothing. I don't know.
It's not.
Like,
It's not even that. I think the guy just doesn't have inspiration for music anymore. It was like when it's just you could obviously tell his heart's not in it. Like it's just not in it like it used to be. Like you could tell when artists get to that point. You know, I'm a big fan of M, but like I like the Kamikaze record. I know a lot of people didn't, but like you could tell he was either out of touch,
Yeah.
or he wasn't finding the inspiration or the correct inspiration to make an album, and that's what happened with Chance.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe he just got out of touch. But you know what? It's fucking disappointing. Because 2 years ago, we were talking this shit like, look.
Same with Logic.
Who's going to take over after Drake? Who was that going to be?
It was going to be, people were saying Chance.
It's not going to be that now.
It's not going to be that.
Like,
if anything, I think it's going to be DABABY, maybe.
Yeah, because, I mean, even, like, they're leaving the crown open. Because, like, Kanye could come back and just take all this shit all over again.
Wait, let me take that back. I wouldn't say DABABY would take Drake's spot because I don't think he could ever sell that many records. But at the same time, I feel like
he's got his niche, but you know, it probably wouldn't be a worldwide.
No,
thing
it wouldn't be a worldwide
Drake
thing, especially just with, you know, it is sadly like Southern influence isn't going to reach that far worldwide. Like in like with
not
his,
in the way that he's presenting it, I don't think. But you know, but yeah, Chance the Rapper, 2 years ago. That's what we were talking, like, oh yeah, he's the dude that's gonna take over this shit, you know.
People were saying that about Logic too,
and the baton's gonna be passed. But I mean,
that was another disappointment.
But Logic's closer than Chance is right now.
Logic,
you know what I mean?
I feel like Logic, his problem is inspiration. And he's just not trying. He's not trying. And I don't want to be a dick, but there was so many filler bars. It was like you're on a track with Eminem, one of the greatest rappers, wordsmiths of all time, and you're gonna fucking,
if not the greatest.
Yeah, like, cause like I don't know how you could get on a fucking song and just come with so many filler bars, automatic. Like, how many times is he gonna fucking say automatic, semi-automatic, coming with an addict? Like, I don't want to fucking hear that shit anymore.
It is a sport. I think sometimes the money makes people realize think that it's not still a sport, and you're getting on a track with possibly the GOAT. And if he's not the GOAT to everybody, he's the GOAT to him. What would you try to fucking do when you get on the fucking track with him?
Like, how could you not show up? Like, if that doesn't bring the best out of him, what will? You know, and I'm saying this, mind you, as a big Logic fan.
Yeah.
Under Pressure was one of my favorite albums of all time. Welcome to Forever, that's one of my favorite mixtapes of all time. But after Under Pressure, there was an obvious drop and decline. You could tell he was either I feel like he was getting too burnt out. He was putting out album after album after album each year. It's like, take a break. Kendrick takes a break, and you see the quality in it.
So you blame him or do you blame Def Jam?
I blame him. because he's the at the same time I'm pretty like he said on multiple times he has full creative control. So if that's the fact, there's no excuse.
Yeah.
You know, if it was a matter of like a laser situation, what happened with Lupe, where the label was getting involved, okay, I can understand that. But his ass is going into the studio, getting high as fuck, and just freestyling, and you could tell.
But yeah, that's another subject. Basically, when you're a rapper and you're struggling, and you make your first album becomes some sort of a classic. Because you spent all your life trying to make the first album.
Who said you spent your whole life? I forget the quote, but it's like your whole life. Your first album is basically written for you.
Yeah, because you're spending your whole life, and the culmination of it is that first album.
Yeah.
Then you come out with it, and you become popular. Now the money comes in. Different interests come in. Is that where the fall off starts?
Maybe it's because like you have now you have all this money. Now you're like you don't have to really focus on music. You don't really like the grind isn't there anymore. It isn't something that's like sought after anymore.
But yeah, the Eminem thing was disappointing because like you're not gonna get another track with Eminem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like. He's not gonna do that again. He's not gonna just like, oh yeah, let's make another track together, you know.
And especially with M, he's very secluded. Like if you're not in a circle, he's not gonna do shit with
exactly.
you, so.
And you're sitting there with the track. I'm sure you help co-produce it and everything. So you got all the opportunity in the world to, even if you didn't like it, to do it again. You know. So, and that's what you came with, or you're just deferring to him, which you didn't have to do. You should have just went bar for bar with him, and you know someone would have just said, "Oh yeah, they were about even." You know,
and he did the same shit on the Book of Ryan, one of my favorite albums of last year? Yeah, last year. And there was another almost Eminem situation because Eminem was on the final version. It was a song called Caterpillar, but the remix of it, he said on Twitter, he's like, oh, the verse I have on Royce's album's the best verse I've ever written. And then you listen to it, and 90% of it is him complaining about the fact that people don't like him because he's biracial. And it's just like you're setting your own expectations too. Like you're setting your own standards to your fans.
Don't like me because of this.
like it's different if you just put it out there, but if you
Who
say... Who
doesn't like him because he's biracial? Anyway, is that a real thing?
If anything, I feel like him saying it so much has turned people into not liking him because he's biracial, if that makes any sense.
No, that makes a lot of fucking sense because who the fuck gave a damn about that before that? I didn't give a damn.
J. Cole's biracial.
Well,
you know how many fucking biracial rappers are in the fucking game? Like... Drake, the height of artists is fucking biracial.
Yeah, I mean, who isn't biracial, really? I mean, when it comes down to it, you're 100%. 100% white,
Italian,
right there. Yeah.
Fucking 100% Italian. I was fucking born in a pizza factory.
Oh yeah, but me, even though I look pretty black here, but I got a little bit of a melting pot in me too. So I mean, but. That doesn't mean I have to mention it in my rap, you know?
I think it's honestly his insecurities. Is like he identifies as black, but he looks white. So he's probably just been dealing with that. But at the same time, you're what, 27 years old, 28, whatever. I'm probably not like correct on that, but like at what point are you going to become more secure with yourself that you're not showing your insecurities on record like that?
Look, dude, once you get past the first album and a half, project and a half, that's over. Okay? Yeah, it's like we got to talk about something else, or do you have something else to really talk about? That's the issue, you know, but I don't know. It sounds like woe is me. I don't fucking like it. You know, but, you know.
Any other disappointments this year?
Oh, God. the biggest disappointment of this year is 6ix9ine, but you know, we kind of touched on that already. But
to me, it wasn't even a disappointment. It was just something that was inevitable. I figured he was either going to get shot or go to jail. And, you know, the man was, he was an obvious troll that was putting this gangster persona up.
I feel sorry. Not really. No, I don't fucking.
I don't feel sorry.
His
dumbass put himself in this fucking situation.
Not him. I just feel sorry for dumbass, stupid ass minded people. First of all, his dumbass for trying to get down with some shit for the image, and those dumb motherfuckers for letting them get down with the shit, you know?
Well, there was multiple people. Like, I know, I saw a video yesterday, I believe it was on Hip Hop DX, if I'm not mistaken, but they stated Angie Martinez, it was on Genius. Angie Martinez stated something to him while his manager was in the room, like, yo, you gotta chill with this shit, like, you're not built for this, like, you gotta watch yourself. Charlemagne said something to him. Direct and straight to him. Like, so he's had multiple people say this. His dumb ass just won't listen, and he's a fucking idiot.
But you know, I blame the gang guys just as much or more than him, because he wasn't supposed to be with them in the first place.
The gang guys only were seeing the fact that they can make money off of the guy.
Yeah,
like they didn't give a fuck about him. That's why they were gonna kill him at the fucking end.
Yeah, of course, but he's a weak link. They didn't think that he was going to be a weak link at the end of the day. So if you didn't get to kill him, you should have made sure you killed him. If it was like that, you should have made sure you fucking killed him, because then this wouldn't have been happening. But you still would have got arrested because you already had the snitch in place. The snitch was already in the game. It's like, you know what? They just wanted to be, it's the money too, but they wanted the clout, you know? They had this much clout because you're in this set, but then you needed that much more clout because you're with 6ix9ine, you know? So it's like, okay, yeah, it's money, but it's clout also. And you're so busy trying to chase the clout that you ran yourself right into a fucking set of informants. There's more informants to come. This is not even over yet. There's 3 informants in the case that you're hanging with every day.
You know what this trial is like? You know when you take that shit and you're wiping, and it's just that non-running shit, like you're wiping it and it's like, oh, there's still more shit here, and then you're there on the toilet for a good 15 minutes. That's what this case is.
Oh yeah, it's a whole bunch of shit.
When your palms are sweating, but got an empty wallet, you got no direction. The safe and normal guarded. Gotta keep that passion. Show them that you a problem. Feed your family with cash. They said you couldn't acquire. If you ain't thinking you the king, then what the fuck you in hip hop for? I'm knowing I'm the kingpin. You should probably sleep the kids by more. This I for, if not your mother probably kick drop your void. Isn't that